When I tell you that bitch Ruth be on her tippy toes, she is always 5 steps ahead, and that's why I fuck with her. But as we already know, Ruth is a street broad, and she knows like how to maneuver, how to think on her toes. So she tells him, "Hey y'all, hey, we are back for another review of Tyler Perry's Ruthless on BET. Um, what is this? Season 3, episode 5. Excuse me. We are in the wake of the heist having his big prophecy that basically is Ruth telling him the plan so that she can set her plan in motion. That kind of sitting there looking dumb because he is just outdone at the fact that the heist is taking her on as his wife, and the other mother is also outdone, and she is beside herself. She don't know what to make of it, but she knows she's not excited about it. Um, so he also tells the congregation that Ruth is precious to him, and basically to treat her as such. So that definitely throws a monkey wrench in Dakon's plan to chop Ruth's head off, which is what he really wants at this point. But she's protected. There's nothing you can do, my boy. You might as well just take that L. So he's playing some damn movie that shows them how they're gonna behave and how they're gonna feel when the Raku return. Some damn movie to occupy that time. In the meantime, while this movie is playing, everybody's having these little side conversations, little side meetings, whatever, whatnot. Elder Mother congratulates Ruth, even though she really don't want to. Nobody cares. So you've been demoted. It's okay. You'll be all right. Um, Daikon tells River to come with him somewhere because he's still upset about the fact that River had the key and he was inside of the finance trailer. So, he wants to punish him again. River knows that there's safety in numbers, and so he's like, I'm not going nowhere with you. Like, what are you talking about? And Daikon basically forces him to go to another location to have this conversation about why he was over there in the finance trailer. All right, so Ruth and the highest are also talking on the side, and he says that they reinforces that they're to treat her as his wife, and he's gonna go back to his trailer and relax or whatever he about to do, and to send River to him, because while he's taking a wife, that's still not gonna stop him from violating these young men here on the premises. Okay, all right, so moving right along. Daikon is about to put River back in the cooler, and River's like, no, don't do it. Let me explain. Why were you in the trailer? And he's just like, I can't explain right now, but don't put me back in that freezer because he almost froze to death last time. So obviously that's not a place that he wants to be currently. All right, so Ruth shows up and tells him that the heist wants to see him, and Daikon is just he's seeing red. He don't care nothing about nothing or nobody at this point, and he tells Ruth like I'm not letting him go, and Ruth reminds him like the heist just got back in a good mood. Like we were all just about 5 minutes from having to drink the Kool-Aid, so let's not piss him off just yet. Let's just go ahead and let him have his time with River, and you calm down. Um, and so that kind is kind of holding this finance trailer key situation over everybody's head, and he's saying, what do you think the heist would think about River being in the finance trailer? And Ruth says, all of that is fine and well, but what is the heist going to think? He's going to think as much about it as he did about you not telling him about Lilo and everything else that was going on. So you need to pipe down. Like, don't piss this man off so soon. Let's just work things out. It's going to be all right. So he'll be mad, and just remember, you were not that far from getting your damn arm chopped off or getting chopped in half. So let's just simmer down. So she sends River away, and Daikon and Ruth is still talking, and he's so upset that the heist is taking her as his wife, and he feels real played about the situation. Um, and he is getting real weird. He is telling Ruth like, you'll never make him feel like I felt. You'll never f him like I did. So he's giving very much star-crossed lover, very much jealous lover, and it's upsetting me and my homegirls. So He is mad that he's not only is he mad that Ruth is basically the HBIC and he's basically third or fourth in command at this point, where he used to be the right hand man. He's also mad that he's being replaced by River, and of course Ruth got the mind trick for these hoes, and she tells him like, no, 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 that guy, you're not being replaced. It's just me, putting you in a better position to win. I'm here to help you, and she reminds him, because the last time you were the head man in charge, she was falling apart. So you definitely need my help. So don't be too quick to act like you don't need me, baby. Because while I'm a woman and I'm nothing in the Rackadooshie way of life, I'm running the show, baby. So let's just calm down. He don't want to hear. He don't want nothing to do with it. All he really wants is her head on a platter. But now that she's engaged to the highest, what is it that you can do, sir? You can't do nothing but stew in that anger and just nurse them wounds and just relax. That's literally all you're capable of doing at this point. Must suck to be in that predicament because you really want to kill this lady and you can't. Because if you do, you're going to die immediately after. So, choices. All right, so Brian was able to get out of the chains with the butter knife or whatever the hell he had in his sock, and helps Oliver and Lacey, and then he starts badgering them. Like, for me, it was like, we're not in a position to interrogate these people because we all locked in this punishment trailer together, and the next person that comes through that door is probably the person that's gonna kill us all. So I don't think you need to be asking all this lot of questions right now, but he wants to know, what do they know. Oliver don't really want to talk. He don't really believe this guy's with the FBI. He's just not trusting nothing he has to say. But Lacey don't care. Lacey's like, shit, I'm in it now. What you want to know? Because I'll tell you whatever you want to know. It don't even matter. Dates, time, places, locations. I'm here to serve you, Mr. Brian, sir. What you want to know? And so Oliver is still somewhat subscribing to the Rackadooshie bullshit because he's upset because he's the government. The government is here to cause trouble for us, so don't talk to him. Don't tell him nothing, sir. As quiet as it's kept, y'all already in trouble. So it don't fucking matter. What's the point? Anyway, so Brian tells him, like, where are the weapons? If we can get past the weapons, we'd be all right. And Oliver tells him, you're never going to be able to get all the weapons. They're spread out. They're strategically placed everywhere. They're under cars. They're on top of buildings. They're everywhere. So you're never going to get them. So again, hopeless. We're not getting out of here. Brian is still under the belief that an army is going to be there in the morning because he sent all these messages to his FBI point of contact. But I remind you that the sheriff told Daikon that he rerouted or he redirected all of those phone calls. So while you think the cavalry is coming in the morning, baby, they're not. They're not coming in the morning. So you might want to come up with a plan B, because them folks not coming. The sheriff didn't intercept your calls, and you're just another person in the camp at this point. So Lacey's like, okay, even if they're not coming, Paula is our hope. She got away. She got the key to the truck. Even though she's strong. But Brian's like, okay, well, we can't count on her. She's injured. Yeah, but she's also free. So while she's injured, doesn't mean she can't just go to the hospital. Get a little band-aid or whatever on her bullet wound and get help. Now, if she go to the sheriff, that's not gonna be the best move, but she's in a better position than you. So don't count Paula out too quickly, Mr. FBI person that, you know what? I gotta on to pick with Mr. Brian. Because Mr. Brian, for you to be in the FBI, your situational awareness was off. You didn't realize that the sheriff was involved until it's too late. When you went there the first time to inspect the camp, you didn't realize that shit was horribly, terribly wrong. It's just his situation. He didn't realize that Lacey and Oliver were in love. Like, he just didn't realize nothing. He was just, this must be his first undercover operation, because Brian was just fucking, I don't know. He just didn't get the message. Nobody was home, So anyway, their goal is to stay alive until tomorrow. If they stay alive until tomorrow, that's another chance for another plan. But by the end of this episode, you'll realize that that's probably not going to happen for your boy Brian. But let's move right along. All right, so River's with the highest, and the highest tells River that he was right. I guess River told him that other men in the camp were going to be envious of him once he announced that he was taking a wife. Just because I guess for the feeling of being jealous because he's taking a wife and nobody else has been allowed to take a wife. Even people that are husband and wife that joined the cult situation, they are not allowed to be together. So everybody's just envious of him. This is the delusion that the Heist has in his mind, and so he feeling like the big man on campus. Like, I got what the other guys on campus envies. And River, strokes his ego. Yeah, you're so smart. You're so wonderful. Blah 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 blah. Who gives a damn? So he tells River, he on his high. He just feeling real good about everything. He tells River, all right, go ahead and go strip. I need to have some fun. And River's trying to squirm his way out of it, like, I'm not gonna deny you. You the highest, you the man, whoop de doo. But let's just wait. Let's just wait until the movie's over so nobody shows up. Or whatever. So he was able to squirm his way out of that. So the Heist tells him, hey, go get Dakon, send him back to me, but you need to come back and see me later on the night. So whatever it is that you need to do to prepare Oliver, just get ready. Not Oliver, River. Whatever it is that you need to do to prepare, go get ready because you got to come back later on tonight anyway. All right, so you know what I also just kind of realized? River admires Ruth. Why? Because Ruth can manipulate manipulate the Heist with just words. River, you got to get violated in order to feel like you're anything with the Heist. So that makes sense. But when he's not around the Heist, he just got this big old ego, and it don't match, sir. It don't match what your current situation is. But go off, sis. Anyway, Ruth runs out to help make more punch with Joan. So they're in the kitchen, and Joan claims that she's so happy for Ruth and the Highest, blah blah blah. And then Ruth tells her, "Hey, take these oxy pills and put them in the safe." And Joan was like, I can't do that. Why would I do that? That don't make no sense. And Ruth tells her, "Girl, do what I told you to do. Basically, just do what I told you to do. Don't ask no questions. Merry Christmas. Go do what I told you to do." Basically, of course, that's a setup for something else a little later on in the episode, but we'll get to that. That kind of Andrew are talking, and that kind is just furious. He tells Andrew that he's just so mad about everything. Everything is falling apart, and the Heist wants to gets hitched, and he's just losing control and realizing, like, he really ain't as important as he thought he was to the Highest. So Andrew claims that tells him, look around, look at the other men in the camp. They're actually happy that the Highest took a wife. So that guy's the only one that's not happy. Like, and Andrew's telling him, like, look around. You're the only one that's not excited about it. What's the problem? And for me, I took it as the other boys and men in the camp are happy that the Highest is taking a wife, because maybe he will stop violating them people. Because we know what he did to William, and I'm sure he was doing it to all the other men on the camp in order to clean them, as he claimed he was doing. So they probably happy, like, shit, some relief. Now you got a woman, you can leave me the fuck alone. So that probably makes sense. Or maybe they're legitimately happy because he chose a wife. Sure, we'll go with that. But that's what Andrew's saying, that they're legitimately happy because he chose a wife. We all know that Ruth set that up. Ruth put that thought in his mind, so he didn't choose shit. She gave him the idea, he went along with it, pretty much. So now Daikon is just figuring out, like, I can't do nothing to Ruth. I figured he got to do something with this frustration. So he's trying to think of a sinister punishment for Brian. And he knows that he has to tell the Highest that Brian is the FBI. He don't want to keep no more secrets because the block already hot. Andrew suggests that they interrogate Brian first and see what he knows before, making a decision on what to do with him. Daikon is, I don't know if he needs some power back or to feel like he's in control of something, but he tells Andrew, like, I want to F you, meet me in my tent right now, and I'm about to knock you off. Andrew's looking like, brother Daikon, brother Daikon, what you talking about? Whoa, what you mean, cuz? So, child, to be continued on that. And then River walks up and sends Daikon to the Highest. And River is, that's he a bad bitch like Ruth, because he over here planting seeds. Tells Daikon that the Highest doesn't really like talking to him because he always bringing him bad news, when in fact River was the one that said it to the Highest when he was talking to him. So I guess trying to cause dissension amongst the ranks. But again, River, you're always 5 minutes from being sodomized or 5 seconds from being put in the freezer. you gotta calm down. Like, you gotta relax. The block is still hot for you, sir. Relax. All right. So in the kitchen, Joan is being nosy. Um, Back in the kitchen where they're making this punch, she being nosy and she's asking Ruth. Ruth asks her if she has a key to the safe. Oh, I already said that. Never mind. Moving right along. Um, so Dakon goes to the highest, and the high kisses him on the lips and tells him, asks him how his arm is, and he tries to um play it off like it's just a cut. No, sir, you were cut to the bone, like to the white meat. It was pretty deep. Hayes claims he's so sorry he was out of his mind. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Um, he tells that kind of you're one of my most loyal followers. You've been with me since the beginning. But what I do have to tell you is, if it wasn't for River and Ruth, that they talked me off a ledge. Like, you probably would be dead now if it wasn't for them. So you owe them thanks. You owe them apologies. And so yeah, so that guy now has to tuck his tail and realize that Ruth and River, the two people you hate the most on this whole compound, you owe them. You owe them your life, literally. So you might want to pipe down, little mama, because you don't want to post up. That was a reference to something else. Anyway, so he asked him what he's thinking about. What does he think about him taking the bride? And he gives the "if you like it, I love it" spiel. And I mean, what else can you say? That kind. If he likes it, you ain't got no choice but to love it. So the heist asks him if he wants Ruth for himself, and that kind is like, no, that's your bride to be. I'm good. Brad, he brags on. It still got weird because I don't know if the heist was trying to rub it in Dakon's face, or it was just boys just sharing stories or whatever. But he brags on Ruth's love making to Dakon, and I know it's eating him up on the inside. I just know his insides are just done for. But what can you do? You can't really tell this man, like, stop telling me the shit, I won't hear it. You just got to sit there and take it. So I'm sure he's down on the inside. And then he takes it a step further to tell Dakon to make sure that no harm comes to Ruth because she is about to be his wife, and he needs to assign her a personal protection. Um, Somebody to be her personal protection. He recommends Andrew, and Heist tells him, nope, not Andrew. He's your second in command. You hold on to him, find somebody else. So he recommends somebody else. The Heist goes on to ask him, like, how's the camp? Like, what's going on? Maybe a slight test to see if you still gonna hold out on the information. But he tells him, that they call everybody except Tally, and about the sheriff and the old couple that's now dead because of Lacey, and then the deputy slash FBI agent, Mr. Bryan. And so not that kind. The Heist is looking like, what? It's a whole FBI agent on here somewhere. Like, now he about to go off the deep end just having this information. I'm sure of it. But we'll get back to that. And then the heist tells him to tell Yancey, like, Yancey was the guy that was working on the buses. Don't worry about fixing the buses. We're gonna get 2 new ones. I'm assuming by way of that money that he's gonna launder or take from the cartel. And Daikon tells the highest that, hey, Yancey was a deserter. I shot him. Pure lies, because we know that Ruth or Tally, one of them killed Yancey. So he's just another dead body at this point that's a part of the camp. River and Ruth are talking. He congratulates Ruth on the engagement. Um, and Ruth's like, okay, thanks, wonderful, appreciate it. This is gonna be your way out of having to tell the heights or having to confess while you're in the finance trailer. You're gonna tell them that you have an oxy problem and it's kept in the safe in the finance trailer, and that is why you were there. Brilliant. When I tell you that bitch Ruth be on her tippy toes, she is always 5 steps ahead, and that's why I fuck with her. But as we already know, Ruth is a street broad, and she knows, like, how to maneuver, how to think on her toes. So she tells him, you have to tell him you have to get ahead of this, because if not, the heist could be off the deep end. So just tell him you have an oxy addiction. It was in there, and that's why you were in there. Nothing more, nothing less. And now he owes Ruth a favor in return because she has bailed his ass out yet again. All right, so Brian and Lacey. Brian and Lacey are talking, and she she says that the movie nights are the only time she felt normal. Basically, she ended up there looking for love. She hasn't found it. She didn't find it in there. I guess the particular type of love she was looking for. And Oliver's now all in his feelings, in his bag, and she claims, I love you, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't find that familial type love was what I'm assuming in the camp. And she claims she loves Oliver and tells him, she reminds Brian that, hey, we need to come up with a plan because there's new recruits coming. I know how they're recruiting me by way of drug addicts and housewives. That what they do is they recruit these lonely type people, give them drugs, and have sex with them, let them go, and then get them hooked on the drugs so they can keep coming back. After a while, these people, empty out their savings accounts, offer everything to the highest, and end up stuck in the camp. They don't just wander in here. There's a strategy to how to get them in here. And we know that this is true because this is Lynn. Lynn is Brian's wife, and she ended up there in the same place. She's not a part of the cult just yet, but she's dibbling, dabbling, getting back in and out with getting the drugs from Daikon. Oliver also tells Brian that there's cyanide in the kitchen, and then that is what they're going to put in the Kool-Aid when shit goes down. So we need to get out of here before that takes place. And then Lacey tells him about Lilo Benjamin, who is the congressman's son, and that so Lilo used to be Lilo used to be the highest's parole officer. And then he had a bunch of blackmailing type information on the highest and gave him where to be so that he could launder money for the cartel. So basically the highest was indebted, or the Lilo had information over the highest's head, so he had to launder the money. But the thing is, Lilo was protected because he's a senator's son, and there are lots of senators in on this thing, and this is why they have the protection. This is why they haven't been taken down yet. But now Lilo's dead, so there is no protection. There's no middleman. So what's going to happen to the camp? We don't know, but that was part of the frustration when the Heights was going off the deep end, which is understandable because, sir, you got the cartel and you have a bunch of senators. Either way, all y'all dead. So what are you gonna do? You'll figure it out, I guess. If Ruth don't chop your head off first, I guess. Whichever debt comes to get paid first. All right, so and then Oliver asked him, like, if you're the FBI agent and you got all this information, what took you so long to shut it down? And he tells him that they had to they needed to collect more information. Well, it's too late to collect information now because your ass is a hostage at this point. And Oliver asked, like, who else is here? Because I know you're here because you have a man on the inside. And Brian claims he doesn't know. They're going back and forth, and Oliver thinks he's lying. But for me, what's the point in lying now? Again, we're all equal in this situation at the moment. We all about to die, so the fuck is the point in lying now? I don't know, but go off, Oliver. Anyway, Andrew and Daikon, again, talking in the corner. Andrew needs to find out who killed Yancey, because Daikon really wants to know why and who did it. He wants somebody to pay for anything at this point. He don't care who or why. Somebody gonna feel his wrath because he can't do nothing to Ruth, in my opinion. Claims he had to lie to the highest, and that's just something he never wanted to do. And then River rolls up on the conversation, and so Andrew walks away, and Daikon wants to know, like, what were you doing in the finance trailer? And he tells him, I had an oxy problem. My addiction is the same as the highest. The highest has the same addiction, but I take more. I take more than what I need to, so that he doesn't have as many to take in order to save his life. Daikon don't believe it, so of course he's going to be heading to the finance trailer later on in this episode to figure out if the oxy not in this safe in the finance trailer, your ass is grass. But we already know that Ruth set that up earlier in the episode to keep shit chill, so it's going to be in there. But Daikon still knows some shit is going on. All right, so the soldier that killed Melinda has cornered Zane, which is, I think, the girl that sent Melinda to him to kind of convince him to let her go or to let her get out. So he knows that she sent Melinda to him and tells her to get in that same box that he killed Melinda in to finish him off, because Melinda didn't before he stabbed her in the head and killed him. Forces the girl in the box and tells her if she uses teeth, she gonna die. Oh, child, talk about performance under pressure. But we let her know that she did not perform, and he just, shoots her back to her trailer. Somebody need to hurry up and kill him as well, because he's giving very much rapey vibes. But whatevs. All right, so Daikon goes to the finance trailer and tells Joan, open up the safe, and she's telling him like, I gotta talk to the highest first, and he's telling her like, if you don't open it, I'm taking you to the punishment trailer. And she's like, listen, I'd rather get punished being in the trailer than to have an instance to the highest, so that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna be able to do that for you, homeboy. And so, um, he was like, well, just verbally tell me what's in there. And she's like, some old paperwork, just some odds and ends. Oh, and some prescriptions for the highest. What's the name of the prescription? I don't really know, but it's some prescriptions. So I'm assuming that's all the confirmation he needs that, hey, there's oxy in there. It's for the highest. And of course, to bring it 360 that, hey, okay, he was in there for the oxy, not for anything else. We know he wasn't, but that'll soothe his spirit for a little while. All right. So the highest is walking around looking real dazed. Like, just that fast, he is back in a mood. He was in there meditating, talking to the highest to see, talking to the Raku or whoever the fuck, to see what to do about the FBI agent. And so now he's glazed over again, looking real high out of his mind. And so he walk around, and then he runs into Daikon and Andrew and asks him for a gun. And so the FBI thing is really unsettling to his spirit. And he tells Andrew, like, Andrew, you've been a very loyal servant. You have proved yourself, to be a part of the fold. We welcomed you in. And there was a point where Daikon thought that you were a plant as well. He thought you was an FBI agent. But you proved him wrong. You proved that you belong here. You're one of us. But I got one more task for you. To solidify the fact that you are not an FBI agent, I need you to take this gun, go into this punishment trailer, and kill Brian. If you kill Brian, that'll prove all I need to know about you, and we'll be squared away. So now, this settles out the episode. But now we are in a conniption because Andrew is damn near the hired hitman in this compound, because they sent him to kill his wife because she wouldn't stop coming up there. And now he got to go kill Brian to further prove that he's not an FBI agent. Sir, it couldn't be me. Because don't give me no gun and tell me to kill somebody, and I know you about to kill all these other people. If you get an attitude, I'm going to shoot you. And then I just have to deal with the ramifications later. Anyway, so I don't know what Andrew is going to do, if he's going to do it, because Andrew is giving me teeter-totter. He's giving me, like, some days he is hanging around just to fulfill his FBI obligations and to make sure those people don't die, because like he unhooked the alarm that the heist is going to ring one day, when it's time to go see the Raku. Like, he's been doing things to show like, okay, I'm here to keep these people safe, get what I need, and report back to the FBI. But he also killed William. He also took Oliver back when he could have just let him go. Like, I don't know what role Andrew plays either. It's given both sides of the fence. But anyway, that's season 3, episode 5. And that's it. Sisters is on hiatus. They do that mid-season finale stuff. So I'll be sticking with this one for now. I don't know what else to pick up. I don't know, see what else what gravitates towards me. If I'm gonna pick up something else while Sisters is out. The jury's still out on that. But that's all I got. I ain't got no more. Like, comment, share, subscribe, whatever it is that you feel like doing, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.